Hey, what is up? It is the ManFUzed Podcast. Kay Lee here, and who else is with me?
Ben H in the house.
Man.
Chilling like a cucumber.
Blessed I am to have you sitting across from me right now.
Good to be here, man. Good to be
here. The
here.
vibe in this room is energetic. It's positive.
Hot.
It is hot. You know why? Because I'm fucking pumped up, Ben.
Fired up.
Fired up. So let's just not waste any fucking time.
Let's jump right in.
Today we're going to talk about where it all started for you. I mean, mentally, you could go back to that place, good or bad. But physically going back to that place brings back memories and appreciation for how far you have come. July 4th, you were gone all week. I was off most of the week.
Yeah.
We spoke. You seemed to come back very re-energized and, spent some good quality time with your mom and your dad and your brother, I believe.
Yeah, man. It was epic. I mean, we went down to St. Teresa like we normally do. Got a house down there, little 2-bedroom concrete block house on an acre on the Gulf. Put the boat in. You can see the boat. I did a picture of the boat on my Instagram.
Oh, I've seen
anybody's on the gram, check me out. You can see the boat.
What's your handle, Ben? You don't even know your fucking handle.
Yeah.
Ben doesn't know his handle, but
Ben JH. That's what it is right now.
It's not underscore?
Ben_J_H.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Try to put that together.
Anyway, it was epic. We spent a lot of time in inclement weather, which was awesome. Out on the boat, there was one day that the weather was just blowing, dude. I mean, the wind was blowing like 15 knots. And we're out in a little protected cove of the peninsula. But on the other side, the waves are huge and storms are going by us. All the storms are going by on land. So we're sitting there with blue skies watching the storms go by on the land with like lightning bolts hitting the ground. The wind's blowing like 20 miles an hour.
That's dope.
We're in calm water, but 15 feet over there, there's 4-foot waves.
I love that.
I mean, it was nuts.
It's like when it rains on one side of the street and not the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So that was super intense, and we saw some huge sharks.
Oh, really? What kind of sharks?
A couple of them, I believe, were nurse sharks. Mm. But, I mean, you're talking these nurse sharks were 6 foot, which is a big nurse shark. Now, the third one that we saw, and I am not exaggerating to say it was more than 6 feet. Its body was 2.5 feet wide.
God. Was it a bull?
It was huge. It was interesting, man. It was like a sand color. And I looked it up, and they call them sandbar sharks.
Okay.
Or sand tiger
shark.
Oh,
sand tiger shark, yeah.
And I had just been in the water,
Ooh.
By the way. Yeah.
I don't know that the sand, even though it's got their name tiger, because tiger sharks are one of the apex predators in the water besides the great white.
This was a vicious-looking shark.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, he was pissed.
Oh, was he?
He was fucking, yeah. He was swimming straight at us. Ooh. And then as soon as he saw the boat, he took a turn. This was in 3 feet of water.
Which is crazy.
2.5, 3 feet. Like, I'm talking less than waist deep.
A lot of attacks happen in water that shallow.
Shallow, yeah.
You get fucked up bad. A brush with nature.
I also had a real, I don't know, kind of a moment of closure, kind of an interesting, unexpected kind of healing moment, if I'm going to be vulnerable.
Please do, because our audience, I mean, any audience, vulnerability, humility, that's what people want to hear. Everybody is vulnerable. Now, whether they show it, that's a true man.
Yeah.
So tell us about your vulnerability, Ben.
You know, we've been wrestling with the idea of, potentially moving home to Tallahassee for years.
The whole family.
Me and Jen and Jack. For years, we've been talking about this. I've been at a little bit of an impasse with a number of different things. So we're like, you know what? While we're down there, why don't we go check out a couple houses, just see what the vibe's like, see how we like it, right?
Just to be closer to your family, or?
Honestly, mostly for Jack, so that he can live in the same town with his grandma and grandpa. He can have his Uncle Nick. We've got tons of cousins. I mean, I come from a huge family in Tallahassee.
A lineage.
Yeah. My family reunions are like 150 people. You know what I mean?
Jesus, I remember.
Tons of kids. We all have beach houses on the same beach. So when you're down there, you're hanging out with all your cousins, and it's just a real family vibe. Up here, it's very nice. and we have great friends, you know what I mean? Obviously.
Apparently not good enough. No, just
but as far as family is concerned,
Right.
it's really just us.
Right.
Just the three of us, and our dog.
Mhm.
I mean, we don't do dinners with our parents. So we were looking at the houses that were in the price range, and there's really not many on the market in Tallahassee. It's a smaller market. The house that I grew up in was for sale, just listed.
Really?
Yeah.
Your parents used to own this house.
Right. So my parents built this house in 1987, and we moved in 1988 when I was 7. And that's where I lived ultimately until I left for the Army when I was 20. I had a little stint where I moved out when I was like 19, but then I moved back. This was interesting. We went and saw it. And it's an unbelievable place. I consider buying it. But to go back there, and I haven't been in so long.
To the house itself?
To the house itself. It was just an amazing experience, man. Just to walk around the house. It allowed me to reconnect with my childhood on a very deep level.
Probably brought up memories that you had forgotten about and filed away.
Just unbelievable memories that, a place that I really didn't know if I would ever see again.
Right.
But that I have in my memory, and I have good memories and stuff. Well, it just brought a rush of just memories throughout my life. It really caused me to realize that I had such a great childhood,
Right.
and that I grew up in such a great place. And it made me so grateful for that,
Right. Because some don't have that memory.
Yeah.
And some don't come from a place that they would consider great.
That's right.
And memories sometimes aren't good memories. Sometimes they're the ones they're going to therapy for, or that are fucking them up to this day.
Well, yeah, and when you're out here on your own, you start with a little apartment, and you build from there, and so now you're building your own life, but so you kind of lose touch with
Past life.
that past life that you had when you were a child. And everything was provided for you, and you lived in your parents' house, and and so to be able to go and walk into my room and to my closet and to my parents' room, and it was empty.
Furnished?
It was completely empty. The house was completely empty.
Is it in good condition? Like, was it taken care of, or was it a heroin house?
No, it's in great condition. It's in great condition. It needs some touching up and stuff like that. But we could buy this thing cash, dude. Cash.
Right.
So it was amazing to all of a sudden, here I am, fast forward 20 years later, here I am standing in the house as someone who could, as a potential buyer of it, and I could pay cash for it. And all of a sudden it hit me, everything I've accomplished, kind of the journey that I've been on since I left that place to go to the Army. Because I really never went back.
And to put you in a position to come back and be the one to stroke a check for it.
Right, and then to come back and be standing in it and be like, dude, I could pay cash for this thing. It was an incredible experience.
Honey, go get my briefcase.
Not for like my ego, like, oh, cash buyer and stuff. No. Not that. To be able to walk down memory lane, I walked back in the backyard and found all my old trails. They're all still there.
So how big is the lot?
2 acres.
Oh, it's a 2-acre lot.
2-acre lot.
Is it all woods? Is it
3-story house, pool, tennis court. Beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
So did it have a pool and tennis court when you lived there?
Pool. The people who own it now built the tennis court.
Okay.
Which I'm not much of a tennis court guy, but it's a really nice tennis court.
Oh, shit. I would play
The
tennis, dude.
basketball court.
I would love tennis.
I do too. It's got like a racquetball area on it.
Oh, shit.
It's killer.
2 acres.
2 acres.
Your house now that you have is 2 acres.
Correct.
Is it just as flat? Is it wooded, some of it?
Wooded. This is wooded.
So you got your
woods.
pool, you got your tennis court, and then there's woods around
Mostly other woods,
and,
yeah.
And is it private? You can't see neighbors?
Right, yeah. No neighbors. You have neighbors who also have 2-acre lots, but it's all wooded. So.
Okay. That's awesome.
But it was beautiful, man, and it was just such a cool thing to be able to walk around and remember where my bike ramp was and where, I used to climb that tree and I used to do this thing, and it just...
Where I went to second base with little Sally and
and to walk Jen around and show her stuff and just to be able to look at it.
Hey, Jen, this is where I got my first hand job. No, I'm just joking.
Just to look at it through her eyes and that whole thing.
And that's
too,
awesome.
cool.
That's really cool.
So we went back to the beach and finished our vacation, and Jack is staying with his grandparent for a week. And so We
nice.
drove back home, and it was just a long drive. And man, we had been at the beach. It's rustic at this beach, dude. I mean, it's rustic. You know, even when you take a shower, you don't feel clean. It's, you know, I mean, it's a rustic journey. 7-8 days, dude, is like, wow. You feel like you've been camping for 8 days. You know what I mean? We roll back up to our house.
And the power's off.
I didn't realize how far going back to my old house had kind of separated me from my current reality.
Right.
Until I saw my house. And it was like I was seeing it for the first time.
You're like, this is badass.
It was like, it was like I was waking up from my childhood to to fast forward 20 years and to pull up to my house.
Right, which
for the first. So it was like seeing my whole life in my house and everything here, just like my whole opportunity for everything for the first time. So it was reinvigorating, I guess you could call it. Right?
Yeah, and if you know, obviously you've never been to Ben's house, and most of you will not. Ben has a badass house. Ben's backyard is a fucking oasis. It is something that most people dream about having. And even myself, perfectly happy with my house, but it's inspiring.
You have a great house.
Your setup, your yard.
It's insane.
It's insane. And you can get a glimpse of it if you check out ManFUzed Productions.
The commercial was shot
the
in my backyard.
And if you've seen our image, Ben and I sitting in front of this outdoor fireplace, that is part of Ben's oasis.
Oh, so let me tell you this real quick. Rewind, we're back at the beach now, okay?
Okay, now we're back.
We're back at the beach, July 4th, right? All my buddies from Tallahassee who now have boats and all the beach houses and stuff like that. We're all going to meet on the west side of Dog Island.
Dog Island.
Now, back in the day, my buddy Ben Carnes, we're the two Bens, right? So it was Carnes and Heidenreich. Carnes is now a builder in Port St. Joe, and he's building fucking $3 million spec houses on the beach. We're talking real estate and stuff. Anyway, this guy's got a 65-foot double-decker with a tuna tower sport fish boat. This thing looks like a lighthouse coming at you.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's fucking huge. Always wanted to be on one of these boats.
So what's the price tag on something like that?
I mean, $1 million
okay,
for an old one that you got to work on. A new one's like $8 million. You know, I mean, these things are nasty, dude.
Okay.
Nasty. It was awesome, dude. It was huge. The kids were all running around, jumping off of it and stuff.
That's dope.
65-foot sport fish, double-decker with the tuna tower, which makes it 3. The tuna tower must have been 50 feet up.
Jesus.
In the air.
So the tuna tower, is that control it from the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You can drive it from up there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I know what you're talking about.
So you got the first level, right, which most sport fishes have, and then they have the driving post on top and the driving post on the inside. You go in the inside, and it's like a freaking living room.
Right.
And then you go down, and there's bedrooms.
Can you drive it from the inside?
You can drive it from the inside as well. Now, this one has an inside cabin one level, and then above it, an inside captain's
cabin. Oh, that's
which
dope.
is like a spaceship. It's like a smaller one on the top, but it's huge for an area to drive. I mean, it's got a couch in it, and it's got like the big helm with like the captain's chair.
Oh, shit.
And this thing's huge. It's huge.
I wonder how much it costs to fill that up.
1,600 gallons at $5 a gallon. 7,500
to fill
it up.
How many miles would you? I mean, you get
it
far.
Half a mile per gallon, so you can go 800 miles.
That's a good distance,
dude. They take it to the Bahamas.
Oh my God!
They take it to Tampa. They take it to Destin, Pensacola.
$7,500 to fill up.
But think about this.
Can you imagine charging that?
You pay $7,500, and your family is now on a yacht, your yacht, sport fish, in the Bahamas. You're fishing the whole way. You stay as long as you want.
You have a place to stay at the dock.
You're living in the boat. I mean, and this is it's fine living quarters.
Right.
65-footer's a big dog.
It's got 1 shower, 2 showers? 2 showers.
Yeah.
That's
Master
nice.
suite.
Jesus.
Sick, dude.
Sick.
So they go to the Bahamas, man. They go all over the place. To
wow.
the Keys. He's like, yeah, we'll go down to the Bahamas, hang out for a couple weeks. We just use it like a condo.
Yeah.
We fish.
Yeah.
Cook.
Sick
hang
as
out.
Fuck. That's dope. Yeah, it's super dope.
So that
How long does it take to get to the Bahamas in that thing?
Gas?
No,
Fuel?
I mean like how time you think?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Probably a couple days. You know?
Think? I mean, can you do that on one tank? You'd have to.
I don't think so. I think you'd have to fill up down in the Keys, probably.
God dang.
I don't know how far the Keys are from Tallahassee on the water. I don't know how far the whole thing is.
Dude, if it costs you $15,000 to get to the fucking Bahamas, that's a lot of fucking money.
These boats are so expensive anyways, man.
I mean, obviously,
but it's a whole thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
I just never...
Yeah, I want to do that.
I've never known anyone who was like a peer, like a buddy of mine, to have that kind of a lifestyle going on. It was cool to talk to him.
Well, hell yeah, man.
We should get him on the show and let him tell us about it.
Yeah. I'm not even going to get into mine. It's been a crazy week. It's been fun. I have been full throttle with our venture with ManFUzed Productions, and there's a lot
it's kicking ass, dude. You're kicking ass.
To come with that and then to detail for you. That's a wrap. It's the ManFUzed Podcast. Join the show. Please share the show. Hit us up at 770-744-5227, or you can join us at manfused.com.